Look, I've always been pretty high on Samsung's phones. They have the best screens in the game, they're fast and reliable, and the camera is always good enough, even if not the best. That's why they're the default Android choice for so many people year after year after year. But if you were looking for a big, flashy reason to upgrade your Galaxy S series phone in 2025, good luck finding one with the new Galaxy S25 series. I just spent some time with the new phones, the Ultra, the Plus, and the regular S25, and there's just not a lot new. People hold on to their phones longer than ever, and that means if you haven't gotten a new phone in a few years, Samsung's latest are still gonna feel pretty exciting and like a big step up. For us phone nerds, Samsung is betting everything on one key new feature. Well, a bunch of new features, and you knew it was coming, Galaxy AI. Okay, so let's start with the headliner, the Galaxy S25 Ultra. As always, the screen is the star of the show here. Samsung has slimmed down the bezels even more, so it's now got a 6.9-inch QHD+ OLED display. Now thankfully the phone itself is more comfortable thanks to those rounded corners. The flat edges of the S24 Ultra could kind of dig into your palm, so I'm happy that it's different now, and this is one of those small but very welcome tweaks on the hardware. And one of the best things about last year's Ultra, the anti-glare coating, is back again. And let me tell you, once you use a screen that can fend off reflections like this one, it's so damn hard to go back to anything else. Everybody else, please copy Samsung. Camera-wise, the Ultra is mostly the same as the last couple of years, except for a higher resolution 50 megapixel ultrawide, which is also used for macro shots. It's worth touching on the S Pen because it somehow got worse. Samsung removed all the Bluetooth features, so the air gestures, waving it around like a wand, and pressing the button to activate the camera shutter, that's all gone. Apparently it was used so rarely that Samsung just decided it wasn't worth keeping in anymore. Okay. In my experience, I use the stylus for random moments. It's convenient when you need it. I edit photos with it and stuff like that, but mostly it stays in the cradle, so no huge loss for me, but some of you might be bummed. That's the Ultra. As for the S25 Plus and S25, the story is much the same. They're very samey to last year's phones. Samsung is using more recycled parts now, which, hooray environment, that's always a good thing. Thankfully, all the phones now include 12 gigabytes of RAM, and that should help out a lot with their new AI tricks that I'll cover in a bit. They also have larger vapor chambers for better sustained performance. All three S25s are powered by the 3nm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, which gives you modest gains in CPU, GPU, and neural processing performance. Speaking of which, let's get to those Galaxy AI features, which you get no matter which one of these phones you choose. Now there are a large batch of AI features to run through. Samsung talked about AI agents that can kind of act across apps and do chained actions for you. So you can say,
find the upcoming Buffalo Bills game and add it to my calendar.
Using both Gemini and Bixby, the S25 will kind of do what you request across multiple apps.
Okay, you've got a new event on your calendar called Buffalo Bills versus Baltimore Ravens.
It worked pretty seamlessly, but for now it only works in Samsung and Google's apps, and Spotify and WhatsApp, and other developers are going to have to join in with their own use of the API. Second is a new AI select feature in the sidebar. You swipe it over, tap the button, and this feature is context aware, so based on whatever's on the screen, it's going to try and make recommendations on what you want to do. If you're watching a YouTube video, for example, it'll recommend making a GIF out of a video recording. It worked pretty well. I'm curious to see how well it works on different tasks that are less obvious, but we'll see. It seems like a convenient thing that means digging through settings less. Samsung's also worked on all the natural language search, so if you want to find a photo from a wedding taken in a certain city or state, it'll pull those up just by making a simple request versus having to type in all the specifics. You just ask it, find me the photos I took in this city, or find me wine that was gifted to me by this friend, and it'll pull up all those results. There are also helpful briefs, both in morning and at night. These are all on device, so it changes each time you pull it up. And it looks at your calendar appointments for your first meeting in the morning. It'll tell you how well you slept overnight when you wake up in the morning, etc. And then there's a less original idea, and that's the Now bar, which is basically Samsung's take on Apple's live activities. On your lock screen, you'll now see live notifications for a timer, or maps, or your Uber, etc. And it'll slowly progress as those things get closer. We've seen it before, it looks the same here, but it's helpful, so I don't mind. Now, this means your phone knows a whole lot about you, and Samsung emphasized that this is all on device. There's a setting you can change to make sure that all the processing is done on your phone. And as usual, security is the name of the game, and Samsung says you have military-grade protection for your data. The chip that stores all of this can't be accessed by other apps. And if you want an AI-free experience, you can always just shut all of it off. And that really is the full story of Samsung's Galaxy S25 series. I do like the look and feel of the Ultra and those rounded corners. They don't dig into my palms anymore. But elsewhere, the list of what's the same is longer than what's changed, and the prices are also the same, so that's good. But if you're Team Samsung, and if you've squeezed everything you can out of your current phone, I'm sure there's still some excitement here. It's a big upgrade for you. For me, I was hoping for a spark or something truly fresh, well, anywhere. Maybe next year, I guess. Thanks for watching. Samsung Unpacked is coming right up with some potential surprises like a slim version of the S25. That's one rumor. And we're still waiting for details on this AR headset by Samsung and Google. So stay tuned for more details on that and Allison Johnson's full review of the new S25s.